Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Rule Waves 2 as Japan, episode number, 76, 77? I don't remember, but we're up there. The big carrier battle is over with, and it means I'm going to have to think of a new creative title after being able to put part 1 through 4 on the last 4 videos. It always strikes me, after I'm done with a battle, when I see how many episodes it took for me to record it. Rule the Waves is not a game for the short term. I mean, as 70 whatever episodes would already clearly indicate, this is not a series that you can do quickly. And yeah, we're certainly experiencing that with the 4-part battles. As far as the war goes, we're way ahead on VP, but I actually think that it would be kind of silly to say it was a Pyrrhic victory. It was not a victory as much as I would have wanted it to be. And, I mean, that's such a blanket statement. I don't think we sank enough carriers for the number of carriers we lost. It was 3-1, right? God, I already don't remember, but I suppose if we go to ship sunk, we should see the Kaigeryu. And this is the terrible thing is this was a fuel explosion after the battle had already ended. We were RNG'd. And I think we sank 3 carriers. Now, pretty easy to check how many we actually sank. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 total, so that means 3 in the battle and 1 in the original raid at the Philippines. So things are, we're off to a good start. If you look at it from like 4 carriers to 1 carrier, that's a good sign, right? But remember, or I should remind myself, and let's take a moment just to look at, once again, how many ships the Americans have. They have, 6 carriers remaining. Let's just go to the nation, all nations. We're going to do it here. Compare ourselves a little bit easier. Yeah, 5 to 6. And that, I didn't realize that we're so close on main fleet carriers. With that knowledge, I think the 3 carriers in the last battle was sufficient. Should give us the leg up. I'm saying that because their carriers won't necessarily be concentrated in the Pacific. I mean, they'll be concentrated there for the most part, but not. I don't think we'll see all 6. They're building 3 more though, and those look like they're big ones, around 30,000 tons each. They're only putting about maybe around 60 aircraft per carrier, so we have the numbers advantage. I probably should have built a few more carriers, but unfortunately we lost one of the Kageryus, but hopefully the Tsunami class, which we have, which, they're adequate. They were at, 70 or so aircraft, so essentially they're a match for... What the hell's going on here? Oh, this is ship sunk still. Oh my god, it scared me. I only have 1 carrier? Yeah, here we go. So the Tsunamis are going to be put in play here, and they have 88 aircraft. Man, that's better than I expected. So... yeah, we're going to want to use these. Not that we have a choice. We're going to have to use these to supplement for the missing Kageryu, and I think we'll probably have to merge all these into a single. Considering the number of carriers we're seeing the Americans put out there, we might have to merge all of them into a single fleet. The invasion of the Philippines continues on, so that's number 1 priority. We see here the U.S. has, holy crap. Take back everything I said about not needing to fight all their carriers in one spot. It's still not true. They only have 3 carriers here, but they have almost all their capital ships here. 14 battleships and 16 battle cruisers. 14 of 19. This is insane. This is their entire... first of all, I don't think that they can support this. I'm pretty sure that they will be running... I don't know if the AI plays by the same rules. When I make my game, the AI will play with the same rules, damn it. But I don't know if they're going to start to run out of supply here, if they're going to start taking morale penalty hits. We might need to shift some of our... we have to counter this, right? You can't just... How are we going to possibly defend our... If we get into any kind of surface engagement, we're in big trouble. We're missing 2 of our Daigojis. They're out for a while. The Shinigami is in... Wait a second. Okay, The one in Southeast Asia is out for 3 more months. We're bringing the other Shinigami down. I feel like this is the Yamato sallying out into the dangerous waters. But we need her. I mean, what are you waiting for, right? This is it. All the chips are on the table. If they're moving their entire fleet there, I don't see any alternative but to match it. Now again, we can kind of, and we will, kind of abuse the battle generator. The battle generator typically does not make fleets super lopsided for fleet battles. Now that is very much to your discredit as a player, and really the AIs as well, in certain situations where you have immense superiority in numbers. And in this case, we will probably benefit from it because we're playing as the Japanese, we have very few ships, they have a ton of ships. I don't expect to see a battle where they have 12 battleships, 12 battlecruisers, and we only have 3 battleships. Even though that's the reality, they could do that, the battle generator could do that, and it would be, it would reflect the number of ships each of us has in the sea zone. But typically, they have more of a balanced approach, and that's why I've always said that quality is better than quantity in Rule the Waves. And that's just an artifact of the game. It's not something that I believe is true in real life. At least I wouldn't make such a statement. I don't know whether or not it's true in real life. But it seems to be the case beyond what's reality in Rule the Waves. Anyways, you can tell I'm just trying to get my feet under me. It's been a few days since the last recording. I went out of town over the weekend and had a refreshing time. Okay, let's attack ships near the objective. Oh, well that's... sink any 2 ships. Okay, well we had to... I didn't even read the briefing before I jumped into the battle. The fleet, the pop-up about what it was. But all I saw was in support of land battle, and I knew I was going to accept it. Turns out in this case, not ideal. Oh god, it's even worse. Well, we have radar, so we should be using radar. What is our radar range? What? We have no radar? Yeah, we have early search. Okay, so if I do... Is this impacting anything? First of all, just turn off everything and then go green. Okay, there we go. So what, it just overlaps? I think, oh, it does. It's exactly the torpedo range. That is hilarious. Okay, well, knowing that, we don't need to keep we can keep the radar on. We know it's just, so it's really good. It's really good range. Okay, good. Boy, that certainly was confusing for a moment. Who would have thought? Torpedoes and radar. It's the perfect combination. As soon as we get them in our radar range, we start launching torpedoes. So yeah, I mean, considering that this is a small, light patrol group, I am happy to have this battle at night. We're probably just going to make our... We're on captain's mode, right? I did change it. Yes. Good, good, good. So that's going to be very, very helpful. We'll take advantage of that a whole lot. Might even get you up to squad max. Let's see, what are we dealing with here? I mean, just the information. Okay, so I'm going to turn off torpedo launching because I suspect a single contact by itself. I think we all can suspect that this is just a merchant vessel. So turn off torpedo firing on everyone's behalf. Let's just, you know what, it's funny because with radar, we actually don't even need a screen formation. We're going to prefer to visually identify and sync the transport now. Oops. Okay, so that's, we might even want to kind of sail around our submarine as well, because sometimes the submarines do contribute. I wanted mainly the destroyers to use their guns since they're not likely to run out of ammunition, but it looks like we've already sunk this ship. Okay, move north up the coastline then. Basically putting ourselves almost into the void, Manila, which has been the site of a lot of victories for us. Oh dear, sighting an unknown ship without radar? Okay. Let's turn south, and it looks like we're getting lucky once again. Okay, I was checking, I was like, that's very loud, but it's only on my system, so it doesn't look like it's that loud on yours. Might even increase the volume a little bit. Because it's nice to hear those guns go off. I mean, for me it's important as a reminder that something's happening. Yeah, it's pretty dull. Let's raise that volume a little bit more. At least I'm going to get this set for next time. You know, we got a new Rule the Waves series will be happening as soon as this one finishes. Not as soon as, I should say, but, you know, with the usual 2-week, probably even a full month break. I've been... I think that this work from home situation with COVID is just wearing me out, and that's not something unique to me, but it certainly is happening. So hopefully this entertainment, those of you who are still watching the series, hopefully it's entertaining. Hope it's... I'm not trying to pretend that I'm some kind of, I don't know, like, oh, I'm out there fighting the good fight, creating my YouTube content. This is a hobby for me. And the fact that people enjoy watching these videos it's a small part of why I do it, but it's not even the whole reason. I just enjoy making content. Almost as much as I enjoy trying to select these ships and rule the waves. It's a joy. Now, I don't know where their force might be. I'm going to circle the island again. You know what, let's just get you guys to go to control. I don't want to deal with it. And we've already seen that screen can be effective, considering radar did not catch that contact at all. And I think we'd even gone by its position a few times. I also want to keep in mind, when is daytime coming? Relatively soon. Do we want to be near Manila when daytime comes? Well, let me kind of... Oh, man. Sure, we'll launch the float plane. Does that mean it's time to get out of here? I guess so. I wanted to kind of snoop in, but yeah, let's just get out of here. Yeah. We'll just try to increase that war score. Victory points. Doesn't seem like, you know, there's going to be any downside to... Okay, we're slowing down for recovery. We're pretty far away, though, so I feel like I can launch them wherever I want, but I'm actually curious, where have they been being launched? Okay, so that means that we would have expected an enemy force below it. I have seen this before, and we'll see it when the battle ends, that they actually move north, though. And although we may continue, yeah, to look to them, let's see, yeah, they were up north. Only one light cruiser. I would have loved to have fought that. I say that before knowing exactly what it was, but let's take a look. Baltimore. Yeah, probably would not have loved to fight this. It would have been tricky. No, I mean I have two. Never mind, I have two. Two light cruisers to one. We should have won. We would be expected to have won. We would be expected to win that. And were they still down there? I think. Wow, I'm surprised we missed this one. Oh, wow, they were way out here. Very unlikely we were going to see that. Okay, well, let's exit. Oh, sorry. The whole battle happened a little bit. Gotta get back into the swing of things. But still, that's a good result for us. Slowly. That one's not worth doing, but. Improved dive bombers. Okay, that's good. Right along with it, we get our improved dive bombers model. Faster speed, better range. And still working with those 1,000-pound bombs. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Well, right back to it, I guess. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Okay, this is probably the big one then. No sense in suppressing enemy airfields, considering there are none, in range at least. Oh my goodness, this is the big one, huh? We're in captain's mode, thankfully. What the heck is going on here? Okay, well, I mean, we're centered on that, but this is obviously the big fleet. Okay, we have 3 of our carriers. That's all of the Kaigaryus that we have. And we have, I think, every battleship in this area. Wait a second. Why? 23. This game, I hate it. 28. Why would you hate this game? Okay. I hate it a little bit less, realizing that there is not the Haruna's sister ship out here. So there was no ability for her to be paired with her sister ship. They didn't. Essentially, in my opinion, I still would like the Tokugawa to be paired with her like cousins, but this does not make as. I mean, this is not completely insensible. It's not completely unfathomable that you would still have battleships, even though one is 5 knots faster than the other one, paired in the same group, rather than putting all of them like ships together. That's what I would like to do. I mean, if I was Admiral, this is, which is funny because in this game you're supposed to be, but not really, I guess. I would definitely pair them that way. Or I guess it's still okay. I mean, it's the better communications. I mean, the further along communications are, the further along in like the technology of communications you are, or the ability to communicate well, the better you can communicate. The less it matters if you have some gap forming between your ships. It's probably easier. I mean, we're playing captain's mode, so we have God's eye view. Everything that works like hugely in our favor. Admirals obviously don't have this perspective. They would love to have had. I'm sure that any World War II commander would love to have had rule the waves as their interface. Would have made their lives a lot easier. Okay, but anyways, let's see what we're doing. We probably don't need to go 300 distance out. We'll go 220. I think I like this search arc quite a lot. What I'm going to do is trim it down a little bit on the right. Can I go to 250? I think I'm going to trim it down a little bit on the left as well. Maybe go to 165. I think that looks pretty good. And what I did is I lopped off 1 scout plane on each side. I'm not sure. I think we're going to have enough scout planes that this shouldn't be a big deal, but yeah. So that's our scout. We also want to start getting everyone ready because we're expecting to want to launch an attack pretty quickly. So let's do naval strike, torpedo. Let's put this one, no, heavy. And I also want to get 1 fighter group ready for escort duty. I know that this exceeds deck load, but we'll deal with that a little bit later. I may launch like 1 torpedo bomber group late, and then the dive bombers and the. I mean, we could actually. So this is, somebody mentioned that you can, like, well, we all know you can. Well, most of us, I think, know you can right click and choose the exact amount. So we could fit exactly 51 on here. I don't think that's what I want to do, though. I don't like to break up these groups. You end up seeing such a like such a pile of different torpedo bombers and dive bomber squadrons, even though you start with 5 and then the fighters start breaking up for cap, and there's different torpedo bombers which are not going like the 2 that aren't going here. They'll be splitting off to another group, and you end up having all these different groups. So I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like what it's like maybe an OCD thing, like a tidy organization thing, which prevents me from wanting to arrange group numbers like that. Even though I think it would be the best thing to do, is to micromanage a little bit more. You just can't put 2 squadrons together into the same. Like if I have leftovers from, what is this? No, I guess they don't have names. From one squadron, and then I have leftovers from another squadron. I can't just make a new squadron out of that, so anyway. Okay, so enough talking. A little less talk, and a lot more action. We want to ready everyone, just so that they're ready to go. And yeah, I'm going to continue to do this, getting fighters ready for escort duty as well. And I want to make sure that our medium bombers are loaded with heavy. Their range is going to be 200 with heavy, and I think that should be, we should be within range. It might be a little bit close. I mean, it was close in the last one, but okay, we're ready. We're ready to get ready. And do we have anybody else? I don't think so. So we have light cruiser with a scout plane, scout plane, scout plane. Okay, good. Well, it all looks good. I think actually, based on the numbers I was seeing there, I think we only have 5 scout planes. In which case, it's very, very good that we did not try to launch. We didn't try to cover an arc more than 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't tell. Is each one of these an out and back, or is it a loop? Is it just an out and back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In which case, we're going to have a problem. Or is it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if it's this arc, it's the fence post problem, right? If it's this arc, I'm okay. But if it's each individual like radius, I'm not okay. I think we're missing one. We'll let the game figure that out, or I suppose we'll see if somebody's missing, or I don't know. Don't we have corvettes? I don't know. But yeah, so we're not going to make any changes to this. Leave it as is. Are we ready to press spacebar and get going? I suppose I should try to figure out what I want to do. Okay, we're going to have to take a look at these. What's there? 20, 20. So these are all Chun-Chun Marus. That's good. At least we have some consistency in this group. And you guys are 19, 11, and 9. I'm looking at heavy AA. I don't know who's going to charge forward, who's going to be Popiano, because you guys are 11, 11. You're probably, you might actually be a good escort for the carriers. 11, 11. Okay, so that works. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have my battleships and destroyers charge forward. And then I'll, leave these as escorts for the carriers. So that's, I mean, unfortunately, that's a lot of destroyers. Do I want the cruisers? They're not much better. They're really not, and they're actually pretty far away. It's 19 instead of 20. These are certainly more potent if they move forward. Or, I mean, it would also be really nice to have the Miyoko scouting not tied up. Okay, this is it. The Yajiri is going to, unfortunately, make a long run back. Can I even do this? She's in the scouting formation, I think, so I don't think she even sees. Yeah. Oh boy, that means I'm going to have to micromanage things, which I don't like. This is really interesting. I don't know how to conduct this exactly. Okay, you're not in control. Wait, am I not in control of you? Support forces cannot appear in battles. I do not have that checked. Allow AI control of all friendly forces. No. I feel like there's some kind of game setting I probably missed that's not allowing me to have control over those. But let's see what happens as soon as I run the game forward a little bit. Before I do that, is there anything else we want to do? Yeah, oh. Okay, we don't have control of anybody. That's interesting. Okay, this is weird. Oh. I did not set their scouting. Uh-huh. I would have scouted something like this, but that's fine. This is weird. Why cannot I control? What is going on? I guess I should get control back eventually. Wind is going to drive us to the east-southeast to launch. Okay, I mean, we're going to have all our aircraft ready to go as soon as this happens. Okay, we have control. We have control. So this is obviously nonsense, this direction of travel. Let's push down here. Okay, do I want the... I do want the Ujiri to go save my carriers. I'm just going to have this guy go burn his engines out. Full flank speed to get back to the carriers. The Miyoko is going to continue on her own with maybe only one escort. 27. Wow, this one has a lot of defense. Well, the first two did. What do we have here? 7, 11, 9. Okay. They're both pretty potent. So let's get this one to break off and become support for the light cruiser, which is going to steam back. I'll do that for 1 minute. Did that hold? It did. Okay. Now I'm going to take AI control off, now that it knows it's what it's going to do. You didn't react. You didn't do what I thought you would do, which is turn with this guy. Okay, go back to AI control now. Okay, looks like that's all fine. You squad max. I don't think squad max is necessary. We'll probably burn out their engines a little too much, but we'll do like 25 and send them down this way. You're screaming back. Okay, now let's start getting the light cruiser screen out there. I guess I can only go at 23 because that's the max my battleships can handle. What I could do is detach them. I think I'm going to run the Haruna at max speed and get her to detach. Now, considering we're going to move east to launch, I want to move west right now to kind of build in. Basically, I want to move in the opposite direction of where it's going to force me to go. So we'll do that. We'll start moving that way. That's also going to help us close in with the light cruiser, which is moving over for protection. And you guys are really going to crank the speed up. So one of each is following. That's good. I want these guys to also be pretty close. I mean, if I could, I would actually have them in the same division. I'm going to have to watch those, basically. Wait, do we have reports? No. Those are still dots. Scouting dots. That's a lot of scouting planes, though. We should have good coverage. That's a good amount. So hopefully we get reports of whatever's out there. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, which way are you going? We lost you. Scout plane right here. What does that say? That's really cool information that we caught that. Was it reported, by the way? Fururu has spotted, yeah. Wait, Fururu? Did I miss her? Is she over here? Yeah, she is. Okay, so they spotted enemy aircraft. That's interesting. I don't see the green dot anymore, so I don't know where it is. I wanted to track its direction. Obviously, if we can trace the line back, we start launching. We're still ready to go here, so I'm not too concerned. Like, as soon as we have a report, we're going. And hopefully we can just get as much distance away from the carriers as possible. I think it's going to be less due south and more southwest. So I'm going to make a slight adjustment here. And I'm going to have the destroyers really go off in a different direction. Just flying by the seat of my pants here, but it's like there's a lot of water over... Oh, okay, we got it. We got something. 2 reports. Battleships? Now this does present a predicament. There are no carriers reported here. We are expecting a huge battleship presence. I doubt that that's even the full extent of it, but I may want to just go after the carriers first. Or do I? Pros, cons list. Pros. If I had to go after the carriers, they can't attack me. I mean, we eliminate their response. So it's a defensive measure to save my carriers. Now we're going to get into some stupid stuff, which is just game related, unfortunately. And I'll probably call this video to a close here just to quickly get this content out. Because I know I'm behind. It's been almost a week since the last recording went up live. I'm trying to game the battle generator, and this is just the sad state of affairs in Rule of Waves. And, you know, it's good feedback, I think, for anybody who, like me, has thought about making a game like this. It's such a driving force that it shouldn't be, right? If I were to sink the enemy carriers, I don't know if I will get battles where my carriers are able to take free shots at their battleships. Even though, of course, in reality, that's what would happen. I mean, look what happened to the Japanese. They lost their carriers. What started happening? A lot of their surface vessels started, a lot of the land-based aircraft were involved in this too, but, they had light carriers, but they were just completely outmatched in terms of carrier versus carrier battle stuff. It's not like they're the battle generator, God or whatever forces in the world did not dictate that the Americans only engage fair fights, but the battle generator does do this. So, all that is to say, if I were to engage the enemy carriers and I sink them, I may actually be tying one arm behind my back, saying, okay, since they can't fight with carriers, the battle generator won't give me a carrier battle, so I'm going to lose the advantage. If I can manage to sink just like one, if they had like 4 carriers, anyway, so there are some reasons to sink the carriers. Obviously, in real life, this would be the biggest threat. In this particular battle, it's the biggest threat. However, in the long term, the campaign scheme, I'm not sure if it's the best decision, just because we have to massage the battle generator and, we have to fight essentially the idea that if we get carrier superiority, we may not be able to take advantage of it. So what's the point? In that case, maybe it's better to start chipping away at their battleship lead. But, the downside then is that we're exposing ourselves to the risk of not being able to... I think I've made a decision. I do want to sink those. I think I'm just going to try to sink those. You're trying. I think I'm just going to try to sink those battleships. At least put a dent in them. Yeah, I don't think that we'll be able to catch up to the carriers wherever they are, but I mean, now we already know they're somewhere down here, right? So, Myoko, you don't have to go full max speed, but let's pick up the speed a bit. And maybe the other carrier is down here, so we'll try to hedge our bets, split the difference between this and the edge. Something like this is sensible, although, you would expect that they're going to be close by. So let's actually just go, let's even go this way. A little bit east of south. Yeah, let's do the attack. Okay, so, whoops. Here we go. We're going to... Okay. Shano. Yeah, so this is where we have the readies and the non-readies. Let's do as I said. We'll take this one, and this one. And we'll launch it... Let's just launch it at the target itself. Range 95 is very close, too. So which one do we want? I need to... Which one is the... So the one with the 2 battleships... this one's going due west, and this one is going southwest, so... We probably hedge our bets here. Or could we wait for one more scouting report? It'll take a long time for it to come back. Well, if we do the southwest one, they should fly over the position for the west ones. So that's what I would say is our better option. I could do the location myself. I usually do that. But for some reason, I want to trust this time. I have this sense that this is better. Okay, let's launch that strike. I'm not sure. I do want to coordinate the strike. Okay, good. And then after some time, we'll launch our torpedo bomber as well. Or maybe that's what we keep in reserve against the carrier. Oh, God. Well, good thing we went 1 minute and did not actually activate our other carrier group yet, because now I'm really confused. Certainly some confusing information. They probably, I mean, could it be that they have got a scouting report and now they're... And now they are... Okay, let's just get you guys... I do want you in... No, I don't want you... I want you in screen formation. Search line, even. Okay, let's have you go to screen. I think search line is a little dramatic. Overly dramatic. Screen as well. I mean, we don't really need to do too much more. We already know what's going on, right? So, look at these guys cruising on in here. The Tokugawa is falling behind as expected. I wish I could take the cap off my battleships and just prioritize my carriers entirely. That's really what I would like to do. I'd rather have all of my aircraft saving my aircraft carriers, which to me are just the absolute #1 priority. Anyway, going to call this one to a close here, so we'll pick it up in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching, and take care.